Hi, this is Wendy from Wendy's Parade of Perfume, and here we are on day 3 for my fall perfume list for 2023. It is Sunday, October 15th. We started this on October 13th, Friday, October 13th, Friday the 13th, and now here we are 3 days later on part 3. I've done my designer list, I've done my vintage list, and now I am on my niche list, which is actually the biggest group. The other thing too is that with my niche list, um, a lot of these are old. I was looking at these, and some of these niches are, some of them are 20 years old, 30 years old, that sort of thing. Some of them are being repackaged, reformulated. Most of them I think are pretty available though. And my niche perfumes tend to be some of like the OG niches, the classic niches. Like I love Aniko, they've been around forever. I love Serge Lutens, they've been around forever. The new, I think of them as like YouTube niche, like Serge and Aniko and, Parfums de Marly and all that. I don't really have any of those perfumes, so that's not what we're going to be talking about. Okay, let's just get started then. I'm going to talk about my 3 homage perfumes that I am going to be wearing and have been wearing this fall. One I love, one I don't love, and one I'm testing. So sorry, homage is expensive as hell, right? So these are all decants. If I absolutely love the decant and I wear it up, I may look for a bottle, but in this case, that only may be true for one of these. So anyway, I have been wearing Homage Crimson Rocks. I was so excited for this because I love roses, I love spices, I love Homage. I like this, but the dry down is a little harsh and synthetic. So the rose is pretty, the performance is pretty, it wears well on my skin, but I can smell those harsh woody aroma chemicals just cutting through everything. And it's a little much for me. So while I will probably wear this off and on and probably hopefully finish this up, this is not going on to my to buy list, which sometimes I'm happy about that. I don't need any more. So anyway, nice for the fall though. This is a nice spicy rose. This is Crimson Rocks from Homage. The one I really like, this is a decant I have of Homage Portrayal Woman. And this is I love tobacco. This is a gorgeous tobacco white floral. That's pretty much what it is. It's really strong, almost indolic jasmine and gardenia, like saturated with tobacco and woods. And this is I love tobacco in the fall. I don't know about you guys, but I love tobacco in the fall. This is a lovely tobacco fragrance. This does not smell like harsh woody aroma chemicals on my skin at all, and I adore this. I will probably be on the hunt for a full bottle once this decant is gone. So that is Homage Portrayal Woman. The third one I just got, I was really interested in trying this. Let me know if you guys have this or have tried this. This is a slightly newer one. This is Homage Overture Woman. Okay, I just got this decant in the mail within the last few weeks. I really wanted to try this for fall because this has all sorts of fun notes like saffron and apple, and again, the spices, woods, labdanum, incenses and resins, just all the fall things, fall in a perfume. I do like this, but it's a little underwhelming. But I need to spend more time with it. I like it. I like it a lot more than I like Crimson Rocks, but there's just something slightly underwhelming about it as I have it on as the hours go by. What do you guys think? Has anybody tried this? Okay, Homage Overture Woman. Okay, this decant, since we're on my decants, this is a tiny little decant of Francesca Bianchi, excuse me. This is not Sticky Fingers, this is Sticky Lips, okay? I missed the boat. She only made like a limited run of this perfume, Sticky Lips. And I was so intrigued by the note list that I didn't care, and I was like, I have to track down a decant. So sorry for me, sorry for everyone that's interested in a perfume like this, but this is like completely gone. I cannot find this anywhere. This is like the perfume of my dreams. Remember I was talking about I like those woody, spicy roses. So this is a rose that has sandalwood and tobacco and leather and iris It is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. The thing with this too is that the rose is really strong and it stands on its own without it being a solophore. It's like everything stands in tandem individually without it just smelling like this rose that's being suffocated by all this other stuff. As it wears down, the rose does kind of dim a little bit and the perfume becomes more buttery, more suede-y, more like a little tinge of like chocolate patchouli even, a little bit of incense. It just wears like butter. It smells like $1,000,000. From my corner of the internet, please, Ms. Bianchi, can you please bring this one back? This is stunning perfection. This is absolute perfection. And I don't know, I don't think this decant has the best seal. So instead of being an idiot and hoarding this and not wearing it so it just, you know, evaporates, I am going to wear this as much as possible over the fall and winter, and I'm just going to use it up. And if I never see it again, I never see it again, but I'm going to enjoy wearing this in the meantime. This is literally, this perfume was like made for me. This is exactly the type of perfume that I love. That's Sticky Lips from Francesca Bianchi. And I need to actually label that too before, although I know what it smells like. All I have to do is take the lid off. Still another decant, but switching gears a little bit. Really into vanillas this year. Who isn't? Who doesn't love vanilla? I have 4 vanillas in a row, and 3 of them are from Aniko. I'll just start with the first vanilla. Very accessible, from Essential Perfumes, Divine Vanille. This is a very wearable, very easy to wear, really fun, really sweet, a little bit spicy vanilla. It's primary vanilla. It's a little bit on the syrupy and sweet side. It does have some resins and things like that in it. It dries down very nicely. It does not have any harsh woody aroma chemicals. There's even a bit of like vetiver, like a vetiver note instead of using like sandalwood or labdanum or something. Although I think there's benzoin in this. This kind of smells more like that. But yeah, so this is a woody, spicy vanilla, but it doesn't wear that heavy. I've even worn this to work. I don't wear a lot of perfumes to work, but this is really a joy to wear, and it's not complicated. And it's still a full bottle. Are these 100 ml or... I think this is a 100 ml bottle. These are still like $80. That's cheap as hell nowadays. So highly recommend Divine Vanille from Essential Parfums for just an easy, almost fun, lighthearted vanilla to wear, as long as you like a woody vanilla. Kind of similar to Eau de Well from Diptyque, if you're familiar with that one. This one's a little richer and sweeter though. This one's actually, speaking of my old perfumes, I'm going to get a full bottle of this because I love this one. This is a decant of Vanille Exquise from Aniko, another woody vanilla. This also has a lot of almonds in it. It has like a guaiac wood dry down to it too. This is very much in the Aniko aesthetic of where it wears really quietly. It has very subtle changes. It's very natural smelling. It doesn't project that much. Probably lasts like 4 to 6 hours on my skin, but I just think that this smells really lovely, and the vanilla almond guaiac wood thing just kind of works for me. I really like this. So Vanille Exquise from Aniko. This one is discontinued, but not that far from Vanille Exquise. This is Vanille Charnel. Charnel, I'm assuming, is French for Carnal. This is not a risque Carnal vanilla at all. This is another one that's another woody vanilla with a lot of kind of bright ylang-ylang on the top. Honestly, what I've been doing in order to extend my decant of this, I'll wear my decant and then I'll freshen up with this and then I'll go back. These are very similar. If for some reason one of you has Vanille Exquise on your shelf, I would not go looking for this because this is not made anymore. But another kind of easier woody vanilla, but I don't know, very pretty and not too sweet. The last vanilla from Aniko is Nuit at Confidences, and you can tell this is an older bottle because it's still called Aniko. I also don't think they make these in 30 mils anymore. This is a cute little 30 ml bottle. I always keep the little accoutrement that they put on, even though it gets in my way. This is more of like a sparkling champagne vanilla. it has a big hit of bergamot, which adds to just like this sparkling aspect. And it also has a hit of like black pepper, not real strong. It's not super peppery, but it's a little bit spicy with some black pepper. And I know that sounds like a weird combination, bergamot and black pepper on vanilla, but it really works. This is another really nice vanilla. This is probably the sweetest one out of the three though, compared to Veni Charnel and Veni Exquise. But I think this made the rounds on YouTube a couple years ago, but I think this is a really pretty solid vanilla. I was lucky to get it in a 30 ml, but I think this is on the gray market at this point. So, Nuit at Confidences from Aniko. And I know they're called Goutal now, but they're always going to be Aniko to me. And as you can see, all my stuff says Aniko, so all my bottles are old. Switching gears, but still with Aniko. This is an older bottle of Amber Fetiche. Ooh. This is a super stunning dark amber. Oh my God. So, this is still around. It's just repackaged. This is really smoky. It's like amber that is being actively, I mean, amber is a fantasy note, but like just ambery resins just being distilled, and like balsams and things like that just being distilled like on a campfire. That's like how smoky this is. The first couple hours, this is pretty smoky. It does dry down and it's still really rich. This has a huge slug of labdanum in it. So it has that, it's a really dark labdanum based vanillic amber. But I don't know if I have another amber that smells like this. I'm very glad I have this. This is really pretty. Very masculine too. You know, a lot of ambers are so vanilla based, and men can wear vanilla too. I'm not saying that they can't, but there is vanilla in this because Amber the Accord has, you know, vanilla in it. But this Amber Fetiche is it's dark, it's smoky, it's resinous, it's truly a dark amber versus being like a sugary vanilla amber. And that's my little pile of Aniko. Okay, remember, I don't know, you guys probably remember this, but I was talking about the perfumes I was wearing over the summer, and, you know, I'm old, and I'm going through menopause, and sometimes I physically just feel ill, and, like, everything hurts. That's one of the side effects, and even my perfume can, like, hurt me. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't want anything heavy on my person at all. There's this company called Libertine Fragrance. They're out of Canada. They're niche and they are a natural perfume company. Natural meaning that their perfumes are very basic and very light, and they do what they say to do. They do, and they're not very complex, which is exactly what I need some days. That's not a ding on them. The two I'm wearing, especially for the fall, that I really like. I should get rid of that little paper insert. Why even bother? Findicicle. These are both rose perfumes, but one is like a woody forested rose. Findicicle is like their Chypre version. It has like woods. I'm sorry. It has rose with like oak moss. It's like an oak mossy rose. Actually, yeah. Rose, patchouli, and oak moss. So it's a rose Chypre, but a natural rose Chypre. It's really light. Very pretty, very rosy, very natural smelling. Like I can just smell just straight up rose oil in here. A nice, smooth oak moss base. Not too much, not too little. Very pretty. Soft woods is the rose that is surrounded by like fir trees and things like that. So it's like a rose of the woods. So they're both light. They're both pretty. They're both simple. They both just last a few hours. And sometimes that's exactly what I want right now. So these are my menopause perfumes for fall. Okay, those were both from Libertine Fragrance. Y'all know the perfume company Divine. They've been around for a long time too. They're completely off the radar. And the reason they're off the radar is because they put out a perfume once every couple of years. They're not these niche companies that are putting out a perfume seasonally or putting out 10 at once or whatever. I mean, they've been around for decades. Divine is a very solid company, and they kind of, even though they're niche, they tend to do they have a more classic artistic approach. One of their perfumes, it almost kind of smells like Chanel No. 5. This is called Divine Spirituelle. I actually wore this to work the other day. I didn't mean to, but I took a shower and I put this on and I was on call and I got called into work. Whoops. But at least literally 8 people were like, someone smells so good. Who smells so good? Wendy smells so good, blah, blah, blah. So I think it was a hit, even though this is another rose perfume that is like loaded with patchouli and cedar. And the rose itself is like I don't want to say it's watery, but it's like do you know what I mean when I say distilled rose? It's like, it doesn't smell like you're smelling the flower. It smells like you're smelling a distillation. And that's in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. But yeah, this purple color just says it all. It's like this deep dark rose with dark woods all over it. It's really pretty. It's a really pretty, it's bordering on being a rose chypre. I don't think there's oak moss in here. It doesn't really smell like that to me, but it's definitely a dark woody rose and perfect for fall, perfect for the darkness. So that is Divine Spirituelle. Oh, as an aside for niche, these guys are pretty reasonable. These 50 ml bottles are like $120. And I'm not saying that's cheap, but it's not, $400. We all know everybody's up in here charging $400, right? This is a really nice perfume I've had for a couple of years, and it's a perfume of neglect. This is from Shantel. I think that's how you say it. It's a makeup company. This is their perfume, Calamantan. This is a really gorgeous incense perfume. It's an incensey amber. It has a little bit of like an herbal aspect because there's some thyme and sage notes just to but you know how you can like burn sage, that smell of like burning sage? That's what it smells like a little bit, but mostly this is an incense amber. Whew, a woody incense amber, absolutely stunningly gorgeous. It's just pretty. It's pretty linear, so there's not a ton of progression, but this is a really gorgeous incense amber. If you're looking for a fall incense perfume with a lot of woods on the bottom, this is it. That is Calamantan from Chantel. I got one lone perfume on here from Perfumes de Nicolai called Amber Cashmere. Ooh, I really like this one. Obviously, it's amber. Obviously, there's some vanilla, but the really cool thing about this one, I haven't worn it yet this season, but I'm going to. The really cool thing about this one is that this has a slightly spicy iris aspect to it too. It's like iris dusted with black pepper. The amber is like the coziest amber you will ever wear, and great lasting power, very cozy for winter and fall. And this has been on my shelf for a few years. I bring it out every fall and I wear it a few times, and that is Amber Cashmere from Perfumes de Nicolai. Okay, moving on to Miller Harris. Y'all know Miller Harris. I've really liked them for years and years, and they used to be a lot smaller than they are. They used to just be owned by Lynn Harris, the perfumer, I think, and her husband or something like that. But they got bought out, and now they're big time. But this is called Rose Silence, and this is a little bit of a strange pick for fall for me. But this perfume is like, it's like a starchy rose. It's a little bit almost on the harsh side. It has a lot of blackcurrant, which can smell a little bit. Blackcurrant isn't sweet. It's a little bit. It's a little bit staid. It's a little bit starchy. It's a little bit, a slight bit bitter. As it warms up on your skin, the rose kind of warms up and it becomes a little bit more jammy. But then as it really dries down, there is a strong hit of musk. So what this reminds me of is like if you're staying at this is a fantasy. If you're staying at a super posh motel, the Posh Motel 6. If you're staying at like a posh hotel and like everything, like the linens are starched and you smell the laundry detergent and you just had flowers delivered, like it's the 1920s or something. You just had a bouquet of red roses delivered. That's kind of what it smells like. It smells like blackcurrant roses and laundry detergent in a very pleasant way. Very pleasant. The white musk in here, those laundry notes get a little grating for me in the hot weather, but in the cooler weather that it wears really nicely. So Miller Harris, Rose Silence. This is like, okay, this is also fantastical. Fall in a bottle. This is French for the leaf. I can't say that word. I can't say it. This word is French for leaf. So it means the leaf. So what this is a rose tomato chypre. I'm not kidding. There's a huge tomato note in here. Oh my gosh, tomatoes on the vine. So tomatoes are a summertime plant. They're not really a fall because they're from India. You know, they need the heat. However, this perfume running through the entire composition has a tomato vine and tomato note along with rose. And if you want your roses with a strong hit of tomato, which apparently I do, with a very strong chypre dry down, because this is again in the forest, this is the perfume. I have not worn this that many times because I have not had this for very long, but this is very interesting, very autumnal, and the dry down is like, it's a very woody autumn crushed leaf, crushed tomato, thrown tomato perfume. But anyway, this is that. I tried to even listen to it, and I can't, because you don't pronounce half the word. I can't do it. I don't speak French. I didn't take French in high school, and I'm a horrible American person. I'm sorry. But anyway, I do like their tomato rose perfume. Before I end on a bunch of Serge Lutens, I want to talk about one more vanilla perfume called Vanille from Mona Dioro. This is pretty much a brand new bottle because I finally finished up my decant of it. Looking back, it took me a really long time to finish that decant. I probably could have bought another decant, but I liked the perfume so much that I just bought a bottle. Remember how I was talking about I really like spices? This is a super duper spicy vanilla. Sorry, I was just talking about roses. This is really spicy without it being just gobs of cinnamon. This is rose with like, it's a little bit of like a boozy vanilla. Did I keep saying rose? I'm sorry. Oh my God. Let me look at the Vanille. You're talking about this perfume now, Wendy. Hey, it's been a long 3 days. Anyway, this is a really spicy vanilla perfume. It does not have, it's not just like a cinnamon encrusted like labdanum vanilla. It is like cloves and a spice mix, and it's like boozy, and it's like whiskey, and it's like woody, and it's, I don't want to say it's smoky, but it's just, it has like an aromatic aspect to it. I had a really old version of it because I had that decant for a long time, but this smells pretty similar because again, everything gets repackaged and reformulated. But tell me if you guys have tried this. This has kind of been around for a long time, and I've heard people talk about it here and there. Is a really incredible spicy rose that also, incidentally, you need like 2 sprays. That's why I could have probably gotten away with buying another decant, but you know how it is. I just like having the bottles. So anyway, Mona Dioro Vanille, a vanilla perfume. Get it together, Wendy. Okay, I'm going to make a mistake now because we're switching back to rose. I'm going to talk about a couple of Serge Lutens perfumes to round this up. I have a decant of Rose de Nuit from Serge Lutens. This is a perfume from 1993. This is supposed to be like a gothic dark rose. I don't find it to be as dark as advertised. It is a little bit indolic. It has like an indolic jasmine note. It kind of has like a mothball note in a very nice way. Like you're in an old house and there's like old mothball sweaters in the corner, distant. They're not up in your nose. There's some like honey and honeycomb notes on this rose too. It does have a musky dry down. This is pretty. I like wearing it, but they've put this perfume only in their bell jars, which are like over $300, and I don't want to spend that much. So I'm just going to use it up. It's just going to be like some other decants on here that I just need to use up. So I will be happily using up, but not repurchasing Rose de Nuit from Serge Lutens. Sticking with roses, one of my favorite roses of all time, La Folie de Berlin. I did not wear this all summer. I think I had mentioned I had a hard time wearing anything super strong rose-wise. This is a really strong rose, and now that it's cooler out, I will happily spray with abandon. And this bottle is getting pretty empty, so I will probably use it up. This is a bit of a contentious rose. Some people find this to be too dark and too metallic. I can see how people would find this to be metallic, but to me it comes out as like a bitter note because there's some bitter grasses and also geranium in this perfume. I don't find this to be metallic. I do sense the bitter notes though, so I can see where people are coming from that. But this is a very expansive, very strong rose, and it's just gorgeous. And I've loved this for years, and I have this backed up. So not only do I have a backup, I have a limited edition bottle, and this is probably in my top 10 perfumes of all time. I love this perfume. So La Folie de Berlin is going back into rotation this fall. I'm going to start wearing a few times Amber Sultan. This is an old bottle. This is like an herbal amber that dries down into an orange popsicle. So the big note in here that can be a little off-putting to some people and Amber Sultan is a bay leaf. And it's not just a little of an herbal tinge. It is like sometimes the bay leaf is the biggest note. Within an amber structure, you know, vanilla, resins, vanilla, vanilla, stuff like that. But the bay leaf is huge and it can be off-putting. And it can even be off-putting to me. I've had this, look how dark this is. I've had this bottle for a long time and it's turning black. It's not going bad or anything, but there's just something even a little bit leathery, especially when you smell it from the bottle. A little bit leathery, a little bit hayish, a little bit tobacco-y. It's a really pretty perfume, but once in a while, man, that bay leaf just gets a little bit overwhelming. But I did bring this out because I do want to wear it this fall. I didn't mean to end on this, but we're just going to end on another oldie but goodie, Serge. It's funny because Serge is like that's their tobacco fragrance. And while tobacco is a predominant note, as this dries down, I mean, when you first put it on, it's like super tobacco, but as it dries, it's like spicy aromatic tobacco. It's really pretty. But as it dries down, there's a lot of hay notes and there's a huge hit of iris and like musk and honey and rose too. Like this has a lot of rose in it, and it ends up drying down. It starts like kind of like, oh my God, this is like, for lack of a better word, this is really masculine. This is really, strong. It's, men smoking, pipe tobacco and things like that. And then it dries down to like a very chic perfume, like with some hay and some iris and some rose and some musk. So there's really no reason. I associate this with the fall, I think because of the tobacco notes, but every time I wear it and it dries down, I'm like, I could just totally wear this in the spring. Like, why don't I? But anyway, I have an older bottle of this. This is also turning black. No problem with the juice though. When I spray this and Amber Sultan on it, almost like, it's like I'm spraying ink on my skin, but, I think we did it. We got through it. Almost a half an hour of me talking about my niche list. And they're all kind of older. I just, it's just what I wear. I wear the old stuff. What can I say? But we did it. I did it. I talked for half an hour. Whew. I have no idea what my next set of perfume videos are going to be. I may actually pick some of these out individually and do like individual reviews because I kind of miss doing those instead of doing these massive lists. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that's it. Is there any new perfumes you're wearing? Are there any of these perfumes that you would like me to do a long format review on? Because I can, pick them out and do that too. And I'm kind of tired now. Talking for a half an hour is long. How do people do these hour-long, like, talking videos? My Lord. Anyway, for those of you who have stuck with me for this long, I really do appreciate you. I always try to respond to all of my comments, so feel free to leave me a comment. And I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.